when you're stressed, then that is because unconsciously something in your nervous system is perceiving that there is a threat. Okay? And so nature has created things such that when you perceive a threat unconsciously, your entire nervous system, the function of your entire nervous system changes. Entire parts of your nervous system go offline. and this is really what we could assume, at least, that this is advantageous. I mean, if there is a predator that is about to eat you, then it's not much use to give a whole lot of energy to the prefrontal cortex so that you can think about, what kind of bear is this? Because by the time you've completed that thought, you've already been eaten. So instead, nature has arranged things so that those parts of your brain just shut down. And instead, all of the energy is directed to these things that are just automatic responses. They are responses to a perceived threat. So there is a perception of a problem and there is a reaction to the problem. And that is the state that most of us find ourselves in most of the time. Now, your brain does not differentiate in this sense between the hungry, angry bear and a loved one having an expression on their face that you interpret as disapproval. According to your brain, as long as the association is there as of threat, your brain treats them both in the same way, which is, I am in danger. My life is in danger. Shut down all of these parts of the nervous system and funnel all of the energy to trying to react to this problem. And that is a state which is very useful, one would assume, from an evolutionary standpoint in terms of survival of the species. And it is absolutely, it is catastrophic if you are reacting day in and day out to non-threats as threats. And that's what most of us are doing. So when you are in that state, when you are in a stressed state, you are not able to actually access the options and opportunities that are right there in front of you. You literally cannot perceive things even if they are right in front of you, because your brain is in a totally different state where it will not do that. Instead, it is just focused on problem survival. And so you're giving away all of your creative power. You're not able to access your creative power in that moment. You are not able to focus on what it is that you want. You are only able to focus on the problem and trying to get away from that problem or solve that problem. That's all you can do when you're in that state. Based on the law of attention, which is that whatever you put your attention on, that grows, you can start to see the problem here, which is that as long as you are focused on the problem, you continue to give energy to the problem, you are altering the state of your nervous system so that you're unable to perceive any other opportunities or options. You literally cannot give attention to what you want in that state. It's impossible. You try to do it and instantly it will be turned right back around to what you don't want, the problem. Because as long as you're in the stressed state, that's what's going to happen. Try as hard as you might. You can affirm all you want. I am successful. I am safe. I am healthy. I am well. But as long as you're in that stress state, it's going to keep going. If you are affirming, I am safe, all that's doing is pointing to how you don't feel safe at all. And you are certain that there's a problem, but you're trying to just put a whitewash over it. Okay. And if you're lying to yourself, it's just really damaging, because you know if you're lying to yourself. If you're lying to yourself, then on top of the fact that it's not doing any good, you're also now confirming that you're a liar. So it's no good. So instead, what I'm proposing is that shifting the state of the nervous system to one in which there is actually the ability where other parts of the nervous system come back online and you can start to perceive the other options and opportunities that are there, is totally changes the whole thing. If you don't do that, it's just like trying to put a Band-Aid on a hemorrhaging wound. It's just not the right thing to do. You need to actually address what's going on, and then you can start to apply other things and get the results. But if you are in a stress state and you're telling yourself, I should be in a high vibrational state, that's just adding fuel to the fire. So, does this make sense? That if you are in a stressed state, then then no matter what you do, you are still going to be exacerbating the problem, and you can't help it. So the solution that I discovered, which totally changed everything, was to discover, as I said, how to truly relax, how to actively relax. Because by changing the conditioning in the nervous system so that those things that were previously triggering these stress responses are now no longer associated as threats, means that when you encounter those things in your life, nothing gets triggered. So, because before the old way was there's a trigger, there's a reaction, a stress reaction, there's an attempt to try and mitigate that as best you can, which actually just is exacerbating the whole thing. And then after some time, hopefully that calms down, whether that's in minutes or hours or days or longer in some cases. And then the whole cycle repeats itself because nothing changed fundamentally about the conditioning. So the same triggers set off the same reactions. Worse, actually, because over time, the tendency is for more things to get associated as threats. As long as the associations aren't cleaned up, then the tendency is for more things to be associated as threats. So over time, it just adds in more and more and more stress, and the whole system just gets tweaked. It's just constantly in this alert state, constantly stressed. So by utilizing the active relaxation approach, what actually is happening is it's a recalibration of the nervous system. It's a retraining, it's a resetting. Now, instead of those associations being there with things that are not actually threats, you're able to train your nervous system so that it can now know that's fine. It's no problem. So you're not just telling yourself, all is well, I am safe, I am healthy, I am happy, I am successful, I am wealthy. You're not doing that. Instead, your nervous system actually knows, oh, that's good, it's fine. Just notice the difference.